In the next 60 seconds, you will discover why the most unsettling experience of midlife, seeing a stranger in the mirror, is actually a sacred sign that you are healing, and that this stranger holds the key to your most authentic life. It happens on a Tuesday morning. The light from the window is ordinary. You are not looking for anything profound. You are just brushing your teeth or washing your face. You glance up and you freeze. The face is familiar. The lines, the hair, you have seen it a million times. But the person behind the eyes is a stranger. There is a disconnect, a strange, quiet fog between you and your own reflection. Your first thought is, something is wrong with me. I am losing myself. But what if that thought is the only thing that is wrong? What if that stranger is not a sign of loss, but the first glimpse of your true self emerging from behind a mask you have worn for decades? Carl Jung had a name for this moment. He didn't call it a crisis. He called it the necessary disintegration of the persona, the social mask of the perfect mother, the good wife, the capable professional. And he believed it is the most important and beautiful demolition of your life. This video is a compassionate guide through the confusing fog of this identity shift. We will explore why that masterpiece you built, that woman who did everything for everyone, must crumble so that the real you can finally breathe. Let's begin.
That feeling of seeing a stranger in the mirror is the quiet sound of a world breaking. Not the world outside of you, but the world inside of you. To understand what is breaking, we first have to understand what was built. Let's imagine a woman named Sarah. For years, Sarah was the epitome of capability, a supermom who never missed a soccer game, a talented manager who colleagues could always count on. Her identity was a mosaic built from pieces of other people's needs and approval. She was the one who gets things done. She was the one who holds it all together. Each piece of that mosaic was a role she played perfectly. And for a long time, it worked. It gave her a sense of purpose, a place in the world. But then, the last child went off to college. The big project at work was completed, and things became routine. The constant demands that had been the glue holding her mosaic together began to dissolve. One morning, she looks in the mirror and she doesn't see the supermom or the brilliant manager. The roles are gone, and behind them there isn't a person. There is just a space, a terrifying, undefined space. The masterpiece she spent her life building has vanished. If Sarah's story feels familiar, you are experiencing the profound and natural disintegration of what Carl Jung called the persona. The persona is your social mask, your social costume. It is the collection of roles you play to function in the world. The good daughter, the supportive partner, the reliable friend. Now, it is crucial to understand this. The persona is not a bad thing. It is not fake. For the first half of your life, building a strong, functional persona is your most important psychological task. Think of it as a suit of armor. You forged that armor in the fires of your 20s and 30s. It protected you. It helped you navigate challenges, build a career, raise a family, and create a life. It was a necessary and brilliant tool. But the armor was designed for a specific set of battles. And around midlife, those battles start to end. So what happens when the war is over, but you keep wearing the armor? It becomes a prison. What once protected you now constricts you. What once defined you now confines you. Your soul, your true self, has been growing quietly underneath that armor for decades. And now it needs more room. It wants to breathe. The stranger in the mirror is the sound of your true self pressing against the inside of that rigid, outdated suit of armor. The fog of confusion you feel is the friction between the woman you have become on the inside and the role you are still trying to play on the outside. It is an exhausting, soul-level conflict. There is another way to see it. Your persona was built from the outside in. You built her piece by piece from the expectations of your parents, the needs of your children, the demands of your culture. You assembled a you that the world would accept and applaud. And this is a vital part of creating a life. But it is only the first half of the journey. The second half of life, Jung believed, is about building a self from the inside out. It is a journey to discover who you are when no one is watching, who you are when you are not needed, who you are when the only applause that matters comes from your own soul. The identity crisis of midlife happens when these two journeys collide. The outward structure you have built can no longer contain the inward life that is demanding to be lived. The armor can no longer hold the soul. So the armor must crack. The persona must disintegrate. It feels like a death. And in a way, it is. It is the death of a role, the death of a definition, the death of the woman you thought you were. But it is not the death of you. It is the clearing of the stage so that the real star of the show, the woman who has been waiting in the wings for 50 years, can finally step into the light. But before she can take the stage, there is a ghost we must attend to. The ghost of the woman you used to be, and the strange, quiet grief that comes with letting her go. That is what we will explore next. So, the stage is cleared. The armor has cracked. The great masterpiece of your persona has vanished. But you are not standing in the spotlight. You are standing in the dark, on an empty stage, feeling a strange and quiet grief. It is the grief for a ghost, the ghost in the mirror. She was the woman who knew what to do, the one who could handle anything. She raised the children, built the career, navigated the family crises. She was strong, capable, and defined. You knew her, you were her, and now she is gone, and you miss her. Let me say that again, because it is a truth that needs to be heard. You miss her, and that is not only okay, it is necessary. Our culture does not have a language for this kind of grief. We have rituals for grieving a loved one who has passed away. But what is the ritual for grieving a version of yourself? We are told to move on, to reinvent ourselves, to look forward. We are told that looking back is a weakness. That is a profound lie. You have permission to grieve her. This hollow ache you feel is not a sign that you are stuck. It is a testament to the life you built, the love you gave, and the energy you poured into being her. You are not grieving a failure. You are honoring a masterpiece that served its purpose. It is like grieving a house you built with your own hands, that you have now outgrown. You can love the house, you can be grateful for the shelter it provided, and you can still feel a deep sadness as you walk away from it for the last time. But there is a reason this grief feels so disorienting, so confusing. When you grieve another person, you still know who you are. You are the one left behind. But when you grieve a former self, who is doing the grieving? If the woman who knew everything, who are you now? This is the very heart of the midlife identity crisis.
It is not the presence of a new identity that is so frightening. It is the absence of any identity at all. You are standing in what is called the void of identity. It is a space between stories. The story of the woman you were has ended. The story of the woman you are becoming has not yet begun. You are in the blank page between chapters. And it can feel like you are dissolving, like you have no form, no definition, no center. This is perhaps the most uncomfortable and terrifying state a human being can experience. And it is a state that every great spiritual tradition recognizes as essential for transformation. Think of a caterpillar. When it enters the chrysalis, it does not simply sprout wings. It dissolves. It literally turns into a kind of genetic soup. It is no longer a caterpillar, but it is not yet a butterfly. It is in a state of pure, undefined potential, a state of unbecoming in order to become. The void of identity you are feeling is your chrysalis. Your soul has lovingly and wisely guided you into this warm, dark, protected space. It has dissolved the old structures, the old roles, the old armor, not to destroy you, but to liberate you. It is breaking you down into your most essential elements so that you can be reformed from the inside out into the woman you were always meant to be. So the confusion you feel is not a sign that you are lost. It is a sign that you are in process. The feeling of being nothing is the first step to becoming everything you truly are. This space is not an abyss. It is a sanctuary. It is not empty. It is receptive. It is a sacred pause, a holy emptiness, where the frantic doing of the first half of life can finally give way to the quiet being of the second half. You do not need to rush to fill this void. You do not need to figure out who you are by tomorrow. Your only task right now is to be in the chrysalis, to rest in the not knowing, to float in the sacred soup of your own potential. But how do you sit in the warm darkness of the chrysalis without tearing it open too soon? How do you learn to trust the process of your own undoing? That is the art of befriending the stranger, the art of starting a conversation with the woman who is waiting to be born. And that is where our journey takes us next. So, here you are, floating in the warm, dark, quiet of your own chrysalis. The world outside has faded. The old definitions have dissolved. And in this sacred emptiness, a new question arises, a gentle whisper. How do I meet the woman who is waiting to be born? This is not a process of force. It is a process of invitation. You do not need a grand plan. You only need a quiet curiosity and a willingness to be gentle with yourself. Here are 3 invitations, 3 gentle ways to begin a conversation with the stranger in the mirror, and to discover she was never a stranger at all. The first invitation is the 1-minute gaze. This is not about judging your reflection. It is not about analyzing your wrinkles or wishing for the face you had 20 years ago. This is an act of radical presence. Here is what you do. Find a quiet mirror, in your bathroom, in your bedroom. Set a timer on your phone for 1 minute, just 60 seconds. And for that 1 minute, you just look. You look into her eyes, the stranger's eyes. You breathe, and you stay. Your mind will scream at you. It will tell you this is silly. It will point out every flaw. It will urge you to look away, to do something productive. That is the voice of the old armor. Acknowledge it and let it pass. Your only job is to stay, just for 60 seconds. To offer this emerging self the simple, profound gift of your uninterrupted attention. To see her without needing her to be anything other than what she is in this very moment. It is the first step in saying, I am here. I am not abandoning you. The second invitation is the journalistic interview. Imagine you are a compassionate journalist assigned to write the story of a fascinating, mysterious woman. That woman is you, the one you do not yet know. Take a notebook, a pen that feels good in your hand, and you begin to ask her questions. Not questions about her past roles, but questions about her inner world. You can write them down, one by one. What have you been quietly missing? What makes you feel alive when no one else is around? What do you fear now that the old battles are over? What have you always wanted to learn, or create, or experience? What is a truth you know in your bones that you have never said out loud? Do not force the answers. Some days she may be silent. The silence itself is an answer. It is telling you she needs more time, more trust. Other days, the words may pour out. The goal is not to have a finished biography by the end of the week. The goal is to create a safe space for her to speak, to signal that, for the first time in a very long time, someone is finally, truly listening. The third invitation is the I am experiment. For decades, your identity was a statement. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a project manager. These were solid, concrete roles. Now, in the chrysalis, your identity is a question. So we begin with experiments, tiny, low-stakes acts of identity exploration. This is not about changing your career or moving to a new city. It is about trying on new ways of being for an hour, for an afternoon. Instead of, I was a teacher, you go to a local nursery, and for one afternoon, you say to yourself, I am a person who loves the soil, and you just feel what that is like. Instead of, I used to manage a team, you go to a library, pick a book on a subject you know nothing about, and for 1 hour, you are simply, I am a student. I am a curious mind. You visit a museum. You take a different route home. You listen to a new kind of music. Each time, you are trying on a new sentence. I am an admirer of art. I am an explorer. I am someone who listens to jazz. It will feel strange at first, like wearing clothes that are not yet yours. That is the point. You are not looking for a new permanent costume. You are simply gathering data. You are collecting the threads of what feels interesting, what feels resonant, what feels like a quiet yes in your soul. These 3 practices, the gaze, the interview, the experiment, they are not a quick fix for the void. They are the art of living within it. They are how you tenderly hold a space for the butterfly to form. They are how you begin to gather the beautiful, forgotten shards of yourself, the pieces of you that existed long before the armor was ever forged. And from these shards, you begin to build a new mirror, a mirror that reflects not who you were, but who you are, finally, truly becoming.
We have stood before a shattered mirror today. We have honored the ghost of the woman we used to be, and we have extended a gentle hand to the stranger who is emerging. The journey through a midlife identity crisis is not about finding a new, solid definition to replace the old one.
It is not about forging a new suit of armor. It is about learning to live with the beautiful vulnerability of having no armor at all. The goal is not to find the one final answer to the question, "Who am I?" The goal is to fall in love with the question itself, to live in the mystery, to find peace in the perpetual state of becoming. The stranger in the mirror will become less strange over time, not because she will become the woman you once were, but because you will become the woman who can sit with her in quiet, loving acceptance. You are not meant to find the woman who was lost. You are meant to collect the precious, shimmering shards of her life and integrate them with the new, unknown pieces you are discovering every day. This is how you forge a new mirror. Not a single perfect sheet of glass, but a sacred mosaic, a masterpiece made of every piece of you. The broken pieces, the forgotten pieces, the strong pieces, and the emerging pieces. And when you look into that mosaic, you will not see a stranger. You will see a soul, whole, complete, and finally free. If this journey of meeting yourself resonates with you today, I invite you to make a quiet declaration in the comments below. Not for me, but for the woman in your mirror. Simply write the words, "I am meeting myself." Let it be an anchor for this new, compassionate relationship you are beginning to build. But as you begin to meet this new self, another quiet, unsettling feeling may arise. You may look around at your peers who seem to have it all figured out, still racing ahead on their established paths. And as you stand on your new, undefined ground, it can be easy to feel like you are starting over and falling behind. If you are ready to explore that feeling, I invite you to watch the next video in our series, For the Woman Who Feels She's Falling Behind in Life. In that video, we will dismantle the illusion of the single timeline and discover how to honor the unique, sacred rhythm of your own soul's journey. You will find the freedom that comes from releasing the pressure to keep up. Thank you for your courage in looking into the mirror with me today. Be patient with the woman you are becoming. She is new here, and she is magnificent. One breath at a time.